Rebecca Reeves is going to introduce some things to us and tell us a little bit about how the school board is set up here in Orange County.
Okay, so in District 1, Paoli Town, it's made up of Paoli Northeast, Paoli Northwest, Paoli Southeast, and Paoli Southwest precincts. This is our largest district population-wise, with approximately 3,000 voters. Running for this district are Winona Fosselman, Kevin Street, Lila Tucker. The street is currently held by Lila Tucker. First up is Winona Fosselman.
Hi, my name is Winona Fosselman. I am married to Justice Fosselman and have been for about 9 years. I have a stepdaughter and a granddaughter in California, and I have a son, Leo, who is a graduate of Paoli and graduated from Rose Holman this year. I'm an environmental health specialist for Knowles & Crutchstone and have been working there for about 11 years. Before working there, my background was in record keeping and financial reporting as the administrative manager of the Orange County Child Care Cooperative. I was raised to be productive and a giving member of my community, and that being said, I've been past president and secretary of the Paoli Meridian Lions Club. I've been a past vice president of the Paoli Chamber of Commerce, and a past treasurer for Women in Mining International, as well as the chairperson of the Large Chapter. I'm currently on the Paoli Board of Zoning Appeals and the Crawford County Local Emergency Planning Committee. I've volunteered in activities in the community such as 4-H, children's activity booths, and various community events, and I put together the Paoli Kids Day at the Bicentennial Park. I'm straightforward, no nonsense when it comes to issues that I care about, goals I set, and for what I believe is right. Those that know me can attest to my ability to make decisions with thought, thorough research, and my ability to see all sides. I felt led to offer myself the school board option. I want to support the school and my community in any way that I can. I would love to give back to the school system and the teachers that were so instrumental in the success of my son. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Our next candidate is Kevin Street. He is unable to attend today. Mr. Street, share this video message.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Street, and I'm running for the Paoli School Board in the Town District. Due to previously scheduled business commitments, I was unable to attend the forum this afternoon, but did want to share this short video with everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a lifelong resident of Paoli, a 1985 PHS graduate, and a 1991 graduate of Indiana University Southeast with a degree in business management. For the past 25 years, I've worked with our local office furniture companies and today serve as the Vice President of Business Development with JSI. In this role, I work with customers across the country as well as over 100 independent sales representatives around their sales planning activities and budgeting. Internally, I work with our senior leadership team, which consists of our CEO and other vice presidents in marketing, operations, finance, and human resources. Together, we all develop, implement, and manage our business objectives to successfully support our customers as well as the nearly 1,200 employees of JSI. I believe my 25 years of broad-based business experience would help support and serve our board, our PHS leadership team, students, and faculty to be successful in the future and be the best that we can be. With your support, I would look forward to being a servant leader for the next 4 years for our entire community. I wish you well and hope you have a great day.
Our final candidate in District 1 is Lila Tucker.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lila Tucker. I'm a PHS graduate from 1969. My husband, Joe, and my 3 daughters, Melina, Lacey, and Morgan, all graduated from here too. Other education that I have gotten over the years has been an Associate of Arts in Executive Secretarial Science, followed by a BS in Business Education, followed by a master's degree in business education from Indiana University at Fullington. I also hold a degree in Indiana State Vocational Endorsement for cooperative education. What I have also done in the last 4 years, I have been a 40-year teacher. 28 years were here at Paoli High School. I have also been a teacher at other places too. For example, Indiana University, I have taught classes for adults and students. I have also taught at Northwood Institute when that was in the Dome. Many of you probably don't realize that that was a college at one point in time. At the current time, I am serving as the president of the Board of Trustees here at Paoli. I would like another 4 years because I am committed to the success of our schools. I am proud to say I am the president. I have been entrusted for the last 3 years by my fellow board members for me to be the spokesperson for media outlets and to give insight into others whenever we have difficult decisions to make, such as the ones that we had faced in the last term. I am happy to say that we have good news, and you can pat yourselves on the back very soon from test scores. Other things that we are proud of is that we have saved almost $1 million in finance for this year. And so, with your help, I would like another 4-year term to continue this upswing to make us very successful schools. Our future is you. Thank you very much.
District 2, Paoli Township, includes Paoli North and Paoli South precincts, along with Greenfield Township. Kathy Paget and Doug Pittman are running for this district and will be selected by approximately 1,000 voters. The seat is currently held by Kathy Paget. First up, Kathy Paget.
Good afternoon. My name is Kathy Paget, and I'm running for my second term in District 2, Paoli and Greenfield Townships. I have spent my entire life working with children. For the last 13 years, I have owned and operated my own licensed daycare and preschool. Before that, I worked for 12 years at the Orange County Child Care Cooperative, where I held different positions, including was the We Care Daycare Center Director. I also directed the before and after school program at all 3 Orange County elementary schools, and I was the CCDF voucher intake agent. Before that, I worked at Troop Elementary for 4 years as an instructional assistant, and that's where I met my husband, David Paget, who has taught at Troop Elementary for 22 years. We married in 1997 and have 2 children attending the high school here, Nick and Libby Paget. I love this community. I love the school. I have a passion for children and for their education. I've worked with other board members for the past 4 years on some very difficult decisions, and we did what we had to do to get the school on the right track, and we have succeeded. We are financially in better shape than we've been in quite a while. I would love 4 more years to serve you and to continue keeping the school on the right track. Thank you.
Our final candidate in District 2 is Doug Pittman.
Hello, I'm Doug Pittman. I'm a lifelong resident of Paoli. I married my high school sweetheart, Karen. We've been married 40 years. We have 3 daughters. All were graduates of Paoli High School. All went on to post-secondary education. All have done well. And have 6 grandchildren. Highlight of my life so far. My wife, Karen, was a 35-year first grade teacher at Paoli High School. My middle daughter, Molly, is an elementary teacher in the Tippecanoe County school systems. I've listened to educators all my life. I've developed a passion through them for our schools. Paoli schools have done a good job with myself, my wife, and my children. I appreciate it. I'd like to, try to return some of the favors to the school that they showed us. I recently retired for 43 years in the financial industry, and I've worked at local banks for those 43 years. I started out in '76 as a teller, and I worked my way up through several positions. I've had the privilege to be a member of a lot of different organizations throughout this county and the region. Past president of the Orange County Community Foundation, vice president of IU Health Paoli Hospital Board, treasurer of Radius, Indiana, Regional Economic Development Corporation, currently secretary of North American Services, and then past governor's appointee to the Region 8 Workers Council. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
District 3 is comprised of voters from the Southeast and Stampers Creek townships. These two districts combine for an approximate total of 1,500 voters. Running for this district are Bill Hoke, Gunnar Kessler, Peggy Manship, and Brenda Whitfield. The seat is currently held by Peggy Manship. Our first candidate is Bill Hoke.
Good afternoon. I just want to thank Paoli High School for the opportunity to come and talk to you, all the students. And I just want to tell you a little reason that I'd like to run for school board today is I was a graduate of Paoli High School. I had a great opportunity here and a great experience, and I just want to continue that on to all the students here. And also, my wife, I've been married to Peggy Hoke. I've got two daughters that are also graduates of Paoli High School. I've got 3 grandsons that 2 of them are in Troop Elementary, and the 3rd will be in there next year. And I just wanted to see that continued on, and just to continue that experience on that I had. A little bit about my work history. I've spent 21 years with A&R Pipeline Company. I'm currently employed with Multi Drilling, and I've been with them for 17 years. And I just hope that maybe you guys can get something out of this forum here today and to make your decision. Thank you.
Our next candidate, Gunnar Kessler, was unable to attend today's event. Mr. Kessler shared this video message.
Hi, my name is Gunnar Kessler. I'm a proud father of 5 successful children and the husband of a beautiful science teacher. I've also served our military for 30 years, and yes, that was in combat. Throughout my career, my kids went to school, of course, and I got involved with the school and their school boards. Now, I do think the teachers are underpaid. It's like the majority of the people in this country. I do like to get involved and try to pay our teachers back. And the best way to do that is look at what the school budget is. I guarantee the first thing on the budget is payroll. That's a big chunk taken out. The next thing out of payroll is going to be, or other than payroll, will be utilities. And that's what I believe that we can benefit from. And that's what I want to take a look at first. If you let me as your school board member. Thank you very much.
Our next candidate is Peggy Manship.
Good afternoon. My name is Peggy Manship. I have already served 2 terms on the Paoli Community School Board. I am the secretary of the board at this time. I married my husband Ted in 1979. We had our first child in 1980. I have 3 children. We have 3 children. We have 10 grandchildren. Only 2 of them are girls. So that's been very interesting for us. And then we have 2 great-grandchildren. Being a school board member has been an awesome opportunity for me, really, because my whole mission or my personal mission is to help as many people as I can possibly help. And this has been a way that I can give back to the community. I worked 33 years at Orange County Publishing here in Paoli. I met a lot of people. I learned to do about everything that was available to do at the newspaper office. I stopped working there. I stayed home for a year. Then I went to Frenchland Resort, not knowing exactly what I was going to be doing there. But the opportunity came to me to be the administrator of the Educational Assistance Program. And that has been a blessing to be. When we first started that program, we had 15 members and 15 people that work there that take advantage of it. Right now we have 290 that are taking advantage of it. So it's another way of giving back. I just would like another term. My motto for this election is a voice for the students, faculty, and parents. Thank you very much.
Our final candidate is Brenda Whitfield.
My name is Brenda Whitfield. I was born and raised in Orange County. I'm married. My husband's name is Terry. I have two children, Tim and Julie Apple and Tim Whitfield. I have one granddaughter that recently graduated from Paola, Morgan Apple. She's now at Indiana University Southeast in the education. And I have one grandson that just graduated from Vincennes University. One grandson also is a senior. My daughter owns Wags and Whiskers, and then my son and his wife are school bus drivers for Orleans. The reason I wanted to be on the school board was simply for the kids. I am a retired child welfare worker here in Orange County. Everything I did was for children. I worked for the families and the children, and I really feel like that is also a job of a school board member, to make sure the kids are safe, make sure their welfare, make sure they feel safe coming to school, and listen to parents and school staff. And I really feel that is a very important thing. And so that's why I would like to be on the school board as a member this time. Thank you.
All right, well, we thank our candidates for their introductions. We're going to go into categories for our questions. And our first category that we're going to look at is leadership. I've already told the candidates what I'm going to do as to who answers what question. I've got my little cards in my pocket, and I'm going to rotate this around and pick one. So Emily Leone is going to tell us what these questions address, and then we'll get into actual questions.
The following questions will address leadership capacity. Leadership capacity is a reciprocal, purposeful learning together within a community. The questions were derived from Advanced Ed Performing Standards, which evaluates teachers, students, and school board members on leadership qualities.
Okay, so the first district that's going to answer the question is Paoli Town, and that will be followed by Stampers Creek, Southeast, and of course then Paoli Greenfield will be getting question 3.
How are you connected with your community at large, and how will these connections help you as a member of the school board? How have you interacted with this community and shown leadership skills that you would utilize as a school board member?
I have both interacted with the community and shown leadership skills that would aid me in being an effective school board member, but by being a past president of the Paoli Meridian Lions Club and a vice president of the Paoli Chamber of Commerce. I have also interacted with the community through volunteering and attending fundraisers through the years for various youth, school, and community programs. I am currently connected through the community at large because I live here. I work with other citizens of the community. I attend community events and currently serve as a member of the Paoli Board of Zoning Appeals. I believe those connections help keep me in tune with the needs and beliefs of our community and can only help me to be an effective school board member.
I'm a proactive rather than reactive person. I've been connected with the schools for a number of reasons. As I told you earlier, I had been a teacher here for 28 years, so it was just normal for me to keep my persona going, I guess. I'm still here during times of the year. I would like to start with saying that I'm a former Psi Iota Xi sorority member. And maybe some of you, when you were in the lower grades, received a book that was free from our sorority. It was a written distribution, Reading is Fundamental. I believe that they were still giving those at the time that you were in the first, second, and third grades. Well, my business classes were the people who came down to volunteer. Those classes also got volunteer hours through my business cooperative program when they went for special ed. Excuse me.
What do you feel is the purpose of the school board and school corporation, and how do you plan to promote this purpose?
Yeah, I think that the purpose of the school board is to not only help the superintendent, help the teachers, guide the students. You know, they need to have the tools where they can do their job, and I think that the school board is a support system in that, part of that. I think we can lead by example. I think that's a big part of it, your character, the way you conduct yourself, and if you all elect me, then I plan on being that example for everybody.
I'm sorry, could you have that question one more time?
What do you feel is the purpose of the school board and school corporation, and how do you plan to promote this purpose?
The purpose of the school board actually, and I think it's a little different than what you all might think, is to make policies. And that is our mission, that is what we are supposed to do. But also we are supposed to make sure that those policies are carried out as far as through the administration, make sure that they're carried out. And if they have any problems or with it and they feel like some type of the policy needs to be changed, then they can come back and do that with us. We definitely support the kids, support the faculty, and are a voice for the parents as well. But our main mission and our main job is to develop policies for the school.
I believe the purpose of the school board is to ensure that each and every student graduates with an adequate education and supply the tools and the resources necessary to do that. I believe that involves everyone from the students to the parents to the staff, from maintenance to teachers to superintendent. It is a policy-making committee, but I believe those policies have to reflect on all the students and all the staff and families in order for it to work. It has to be something they can live with and something they can feel proud of. And I think our schools should be that we should feel proud of it.
Individual school board members have no authority, as only the board as a whole can make decisions for the district. What do you see as your individual contribution to the effective operation of the school board?
I'm currently on the board, and all the board members bring a lot to the table. But one thing I think that I bring to the board is I'm not afraid to go against the status quo. If there is a policy or something going on that I don't agree with, I'm not afraid to stand up and say, I don't, this is wrong, we need to change it. When I first got on the board, about 4 years ago, we had a homework policy that I didn't think was fair to students who didn't have internet access. So I fought very hard to get the policy changed, and we did get it changed, and now it's more fair for everyone. So I'm not afraid to speak up, and I've got a voice, and I'll use it when I need to.
I've served on several boards, and probably the best thing I've learned is to listen. You have to respect your other board members, and you have to listen to them. You don't always want to agree with them, and that's good, because you do not want a board that all agree with each other. You want the different ideas and different views to come into play. But a board has a specific mission and a specific code of ethics. At the end of the day, you have to all concentrate on that single purpose that you're there for. You won't all agree, but you will have to find a way to compromise. And you're going to have to listen to each other to get that done, and you have to give and take a little bit. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the kids and their education.
Thank you. Our next set of questions are going to come from learning capacity, and we'll see how we're going to do this for this time. I'm going to turn over here. And Paoli Greenfield, you're going to have question 1. And Stampers Creek Southeast, you have question 2. And that leaves Paoli Town with question 3.
Students must learn to be able to take on the future. The following questions have been derived from the Indiana State School Board and the Indiana Department of Education. These questions consider the topics of requirements for graduation, new and old, school letter grades, and suggestions for within the classroom.
Our school currently offers the 430 certificate given by Ivy Tech, which helps students graduate from our school with at least 30 college credits. Potentially, this is a way to attract more students to attend Paoli Senior High School. Do you think we should continue the Core 30? And if so, how would the school board ensure the opportunity remains intact for our students?
I think it's very important to maintain this Core 30 certificate program. It's amazing. I mean, I wish really the word that would get more out in the public, that more people would know about that, because it's a great opportunity. I think the board needs to set that as a priority to continue. Items related to that is you're going to have certified personnel that can teach these Core 30 programs, so you're going to have a way to pay these teachers extras through stipends or whatever, and probably more importantly, you're going to maintain, as your certified teachers retire, you're going to have a program to replace these teachers and to certify these teachers in upcoming years in order to continue this Core 30 program. Thank you.
I
I think we definitely should continue with the Core 30 program. As was said in the question, it's one more thing that will help attract new students to our school. And it's a great benefit to any student who's willing to do the extra work so that they can get some classes under the belt when they go to college, and that's going to help save them some money. And I checked into this a little bit yesterday and found out that basically there's little to no cost to the school to offer the certificate. So it's definitely something that we need to keep going.
The Indiana State School Board of Education states that every Hoosier student must graduate with demonstrable, employable skills that lead directly to meaningful opportunities for post-secondary education, training, and gainful employment. In what ways can the school board help ensure that this is true for all Paoli students?
Yeah, I think not only academic are great, and we need to promote them. I think vocational school is a good way to do that too, because I'm out in the workforce every day, and that is the biggest thing that you hear. They can't find people, can't find qualified people to do jobs, and I think that's a big problem. So not only academics, vocational training, because not everybody's going to go to college, and so I think with the academics and the vocational school training, I think that's probably what we need to do.
As far as to what we could do to make sure that everyone, no matter what they want to go into, is that can start at an early level, I believe. And I think that takes teachers and teachers' aides, as we have them, to monitor these children. And if they feel like that they need extra help before and after school, I think it's important that we have a tutor program to make sure that they are where they should be at that level. And as Bill said, it is not just, it's getting more and more, and some people may like it or they may not, but not everyone is going to college these days. But not everyone has attained a skill as well. And I see that as being a very, very important thing that we need to work on, is the vocational area.
I see the school helping to make determinations through counselors, through teachers. It has to start earlier. Maybe they might have ideas as they come up from grade school, but the 7th, 8th grade, that needs to be a foundation for them. And then continue, I think, also some testing. I'm not sure what kind of testing, but I think that would be an option. A lot of kids graduate without the basic life skills they need, and I think that could all be combined. Check writing, things like that. Not everyone has to go to college. I was 39 years old before I graduated from my U.S. So I got a late start. And vocational school is a wonderful idea. And I think that would be something to really explore, that may be a good alternative for kids.
Many students are leaving our school without knowing basic life skills. What are your views on requiring a basic life skill course for every student? Would this be a requirement to graduate? What basic life skills would you want to be taught?
I definitely believe that life skills need to be taught to students before they graduate. I do believe also that that's the primary job of parents and guardians, but that some parents and guardians don't have all those skills, or they're not able to teach someone else those skills. So the school should definitely fill in that gap. And I think that things that should be covered for seniors would be budgeting, paying bills, understanding what comes out of your paycheck and why, basic understanding of filing taxes, things like that. And I don't know that they need to be required to graduate. I would have to know more about what would have to be done in order to make that happen, but I do think that it's important for seniors to have those skills.
I would like to say thank you for asking this question. Before I came to Paoli to teach, as I told you, I was a 40-year veteran teacher. I taught 4 years at Salem High School. At that time, I was the person who asked and was instrumental in getting through a required course in life skills. We ran it through a general business course, and I understand there is not business here anymore. Vocational business is extremely important. I still have students calling me today, 5 years after I have retired, asking me questions on resumes, on taxes, insurance. I too agree with Winona that it's very important to have these skills. These are transferable. And so these are things you take with you regardless of the different kinds of jobs you end up having. You live with these skills, and that's what we do.
Thank you. Our next set of questions will come of policy development, and we're going to see who's going to. Paoli Greenfield, you're going to get question 1 on policy development, and same order, Stampers Creek and Paoli Town, you'll have 3. Makes my cards up a little bit more for you next time.
The upcoming questions will consider policy development for our school. Policy is a course or principle of action adopted or proposed by the school. These policies can be found in the student handbook. How do you think a school board can receive useful feedback from stakeholders on current school policies?
I think the best way to receive useful feedback is to be available to listen to the stakeholders and to talk with them. Since I've been on the board for 4 years, I've received numerous phone calls, text messages, emails, and I always make myself available to talk to people, not just in my district, but any district who has concerns or any ideas. I think that's the best way to find out what people think and what's going on.
I think feedback from your stakeholders is tremendously important, as well as teachers and students. How you get that feedback, you can do it electronically, through social media, but you're going to leave a lot of different people out if you try to do it that way. One simple way may be burdensome, but you could have periodic surveys sent home to students. Maybe 4 times a year, each one covering a different topic. You want the questions to be simple and short to encourage more feedback, but that'd be one possible way to try to get a sampling from the broader population. But yeah, you definitely got to have feedback from all the sources. Thank you.
If you have some ideas for policies that can be added to improve the school system, what are they and why do you believe they would help?
Well, I think there's a lot of things that we can look at as a school board. As we found out up here that, the school board directs policy, that they're the kind of the heartbeat of the school. Not only the taxpayers, as I listened, I got out and talked to a lot of people, and I've listened to a lot of people. You know, people are concerned, and they should be. And so, I think that as we look at policy that the school board sets, that it's not only what's good for the taxpayer, but what's good for the community. I think the community, however the school goes, the community goes, and they're both intertwined. So I think we need to look at all of it.
Okay, I was kind of hoping I would get that question because that's one thing I'm passionate about, a certain policy that needs to be developed, and that is social media. We have to have a policy for social media. Each school needs to have a policy for social media. We can't allow the administrators, the teachers, the students to post anything they want. I'm talking about Facebook, on Twitter, whatever, but there needs to be, if we're going to represent the school, then we have to have rules and regulations. As far as the students go, it would be more not to put anything vicious or anything bullying towards anyone else, that type of thing. Of course, not any picture that shouldn't be on there, but we also need to respect each other as administrators, teachers, and we really, really need to have something in place that we just can't go around and say anything without saying this is not representative of the entire school board.
I think when it comes to initiating policies, you should take into consideration, again, staff, kids, and how this will affect our entire community. Again, this is from parents, everyone involved. When you do a policy, it has to be something that everyone can work with and get along with. And I think teamwork is a very important asset in a school board setting. Sometimes we have to agree to disagree and go from there. And I think that as a team member, you can talk it out and go from there and make the best policies for the children.
What factors do you believe are most essential in developing school policies for both staff and students? Why?
I believe we first need to identify the issue that's to be addressed. We need to quantify that to figure out exactly what the policy should say. Second would be the information. Whenever people get together and give the pros and cons of the repercussions, should we make this policy? Who does it affect? Next, we would present the facts. Communicate with each other, discuss. We would deliberate and come to a conclusion that this would be the policy we would like to see. Then would come the writing and the development phase and the rewriting, and then we would present that to the board if it were the school that we were getting the policy for. We would have 2 public readings, and upon that we would have a vote.
I think one of the most important things about a policy is that it can be measured. That way, when you come to a review, you know whether it was a success or a failure and what things you need to do to change it. A good policy should also be fair, cost-effective, and it should be in keeping with the mission, goals, and the belief system of the school and the community. I think this sets up the policy for success and promotes more positivity throughout the school system and more support from the community. Thank you.
Young ladies who were so willing to volunteer for that. So our forum is coming to an end. I want to thank, first of all, our students who were here, our audience, our community members who came, and we certainly want to thank our candidates. We have a good slate of candidates. We thank you for willingness to run. A democracy functions when people participate. And you've all been willing to come here and share with us today. And so we wish you well in your electoral campaigns. So thank you very much.